Through the prayers of Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us. Amen. Today, July 3rd, according to the civil calendar, is June 28th of the church calendar. We commemorate the hero Martyr Methodius, Bishop of Patara. He devoted himself from his youth to the ascetic life, and like a city set on a hill, was seen and called to the episcopate in the city of Patara in Lycia. Methodius was a learned and eloquent hierarch and wrote against the heresy of Origen. His words, inspired by God, illumined the whole world like lightning. The pagan rose up against him, tortured him, and beheaded him in 311 in Chalcis in Syria. Again, we commemorate the holy martyrs Aristarchus, Demetrianus, and Athanasius. Aristarchus was a priest at the cathedral church in the town of Tarmasus in Cyprus, and lived a life pleasing to God. Through the great zeal for the faith, he was made worthy to hear the voice from heaven telling him to go to Salamis to receive the crown of martyrdom. The deacon Demetrianus and the reader Athanasius joined him on their arrival in Salamis. These men of God began to preach Christ. The pagans seized them, and after trial by torture, beheaded Aristarchus with a sword, but Demetrius and Athanasius were cast into the flames. This was in the year 306. Our Holy Father Nahum of Ottridge. His chief festival is on December 23rd, where his life is recorded, but June 28th is his summer feast. A great crowd gathered at the monastery of St. Nahum. For this summer festival, many of the sick came or are carried there to receive healing through faith and prayer over the release of this holy man. Not merely Orthodox, but people of other faith come seeking help from St. Nahum. In 1926, a Muslim from Resin, went there and donated a bed to the monastery in gratitude to the saint for healing his brother and raising him from his deathbed. The donor was Jamme Zizo, and his brother, who was healed, was called Suleiman Zizo. Both were eminent citizens of Reza. Saint Callistus I, Patriarch of Constantinople. He lived in the ascetic life for 28 years as a disciple of Gregory the Sinite on Mount Athos, in the skirt of Maguala, attached to the monastery of Philotio. He later founded the community of St. Mamas there. He was elected Patriarch of Constantinople in 1350. After 4 years, he left the patriarchal throne to return to Athos, but in the reign of John Palaiologos, he was again called to the throne, where he remained until his death. He died in the year 1363 on the way to Ceres to meet the Serbian Queen Helena, who was seeking help against the Turks. He wrote the lives of St. Gregory the Sinite and St. Theodosius of Tronvo, as well as numerous homilies. It is interesting to note how St. Maximus of Capsocalivia foretold the death of Patriarch Callistus. On his way to Serbia, Callistus called him at the holy mountain. St. Maximus saw him and said, "This elder will not see his flock again, because I hear behind him the hymn over the grave. Happy are the blameless in the way." St. Lucius, Bishop of Brindisi. Born in Alexandria, he entered a monastery young. He was worthy of great revelations and powerful grace sufficient to raise the dead and drive demons from men. He was at first Bishop of Alexandria and went to Italy in response to the command from heaven. He baptized the entire pagan city of Brindisi and built a church there to the Mother of God. After an intensive and successful work for the faith, he entered into eternity in the 5th century in the reign of the Emperor Theodosius II. Blaise Studius, a famous nobleman and consul in Constantinople, he formed in 463 the Church of St. John the Forerunner near the Golden Gate, and the monastery named the Studium after him. This monastery became famed for his many great men, spiritual teachers, ascetics, and martyrs for the faith, among whom St. Theodore the Studite is the best known. The Latin Crusader destroyed this monastery in 1204, but it was restored in 1293 by the Pelago Emperor Andronicus II. The church for some centuries, a mosque, is now in ruins. Face of Odegetria, the Rectress, icon of the Mother of God. Luke the Evangelist painted this icon on wood himself. When the Most Holy Mother of God saw it, she was pleased with it and blessed it. St. Luke presented the icon to Theophilus, a state official for whom he wrote the Acts of the Apostles. The icon was later taken from Antioch to Jerusalem and sent from there by the Empress Evdokia to Constantinople as a gift for Porphyria. The emperor devoted Sister Porphyria placed it in the church of Vlachene, which was her home foundation. The Most Holy Mother of God once appeared to two blind men and led them into the church to her icon and restored the sight of them both. For this reason, the icon was become known as Odegritria, she who shows the way. When the armies of the Persian king Khosrow and Kagan, leader of Scythia, attacked Constantinople, Patriarch Sergius carried the icon around the city rampart, and the Most Holy Mother of God saved the Christians from the unbelievers. The forces of the enemy became confused. The sea began to heave about, and the boats began to sink. The enemy soldiers who remained alive saved themselves by fleeing. Ever since then, a commemoration of this miracle wrought by the Most Holy Mother of God has been held on the Saturday of the 5th week of the Great Fast, with the reading of the Acatis. During the iconoclast period, this icon was taken to the monastery of the Pantocrator and sealed up in a wall with a burning lamp hanging before it. It was found later unharmed by its immortality. For consideration, St. Cyprian writes on immortality. Whenever any famous person promises you something, you trust in his promise and do not think that he will deceive you, since he is always true to his word. But lo, O distrustful man, God himself speaks to you and you vacillate in doubt. God has promised you immortality when you leave this world. And do you, impudent, doubt this promise? This means that you do not recognize God at all. It means that you insult Christ our Lord and Teacher with your lack of faith. What a strong faith is said by God's saints. How clear and rational and well attested it is by simple yet powerful example. It is not because the unholy are rational that they doubt, but because they are unholy. The holier a man, the more rational, since he sees the truth in the undistorted mirror of his heart. Thank you for listening. I pray that the good Lord will bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, are one true God. Amen.